Welton Becket was born in Seattle, Washington on August 8, 1902. He was the son of a builder and had early dreams of becoming an architect. He graduated in architecture from the University of Washington in 1927 and spent another year studying at the École des Beaux-Arts. As is often true in the profession, Becket's architectural beginnings were inauspicious as a designer draftsman for a small firm in Los Angeles in 1929. The real beginnings of what would eventually become one of the world's largest and most successful architecture firms came when Welton Becket teamed up with his University of Washington classmate Walter Werdman in 1933. The two young architects started off modestly in a time of depression, but by the mid-30s would land the commission for the Pan-Pacific Auditorium, which would bring on a wave of publicity that was greatly needed, and launch their career into full swing. The following decade would see great growth in the firm and a wealth of contributions to the modern era. Such iconic buildings as Hollywood's Cinema Dome and the Capitol Records building of Los Angeles are all attributed to their early works together. By 1948, the partnership was solidly established. The firm had $121 million in work on the boards, embracing almost every building type. Most active in the 1950s and 60s, Becket's architectural work is characterized as a straightforward, business-like design approach that prioritizes his clients' requirements over developing a recognizable signature style for himself. Welton Becket's career spanned 40 years and his structures graced 5 continents. At the time of Becket's death in 1969, his architectural firm was the largest in the world, with headquarters in Los Angeles and offices in San Francisco, New York, Houston, and Chicago. The financial district is home to the city's largest concentration of corporate headquarters, law firms, and banks. The neighborhood suffered significant damage during the 1906 earthquake and in response imposed strict height restrictions. The district remained relatively low-rise up until the late 1950s when, due to new building and earthquake retrofitting technologies, the height restrictions were lifted, fueling a skyscraper building boom. Right around this time, Becket opens the San Francisco office and completes numerous buildings within the city throughout the 50s and 60s, but none more impressive than the 3 adjacent high-rise buildings that corner the tip of California Street in one of San Francisco's prime financial centers. Beginning with the Bethlehem Steel West Coast headquarters that was completed in the early 1960s, which would become Becket's beginnings towards shaping San Francisco's infamous skyline while casting a signature modern style. Located at 100 California Street between Front Street and Davis Street, the 15-story tower contains office space with the executive offices on the 13th floor along with a 200-seat auditorium on a 2-story base. Arranged on a 30 by 30 foot grid, the exterior and interior steel columns are clad in white marble and black granite. The exaggerated use of materials and the attention to detail make the Bethlehem Steel Building a classic example of modern architecture of the time. The sophisticated design of the building envelope is based on the careful hierarchy of bands of granite veneer, stainless steel spandrels, and glass, in contrast to the vertical expression of the larger structural members. A walled garden court on the 2nd floor of the base is the outdoor focus for the employees' cafeteria, executive dining rooms, and the library. This project won the Award of Excellence from the American Institute of Steel Construction. Major renovations in the lobby have dramatically altered the majestic entrance, whereas the rest of the building remains intact. Directly adjacent to the Bethlehem Steel Building is a massive office tower belonging to the Shoreline Company. It is a 37-story building rising 487 feet and was completed in 1972, just shortly after Becket's death. The building occupies one of the most strategic locations in the business district. It was remodeled in 1997, and the exquisitely designed plaza is made of red granite contrast with green limestone accents. The lobby features flame-cut red and black granite finished floors and mahogany wall panels trimmed with black reveals and polished bronze. The building is a massive rectilinear volume that emphasizes verticality through the exterior facade features such as vertical precast concrete columns and opaque and clear spandrel glass. The third building to occupy the block is at 1 California. It contains 32 floors and was completed in 1969. When originally designed, the building was the Mutual Benefit Life Building, but currently is home to the U.S. Bank. 1 California currently stands as the 28th tallest building in the city. The building was constructed on the site of the previously demolished Fife Building and was one of the earliest skyscrapers constructed in the city. 1 California was one of 3 buildings, the other 2 being 55 California Street and the Crocker Building, that was featured in a 1970 Newsweek article widely thought to have coined the term Manhattanization. The building rises 438 feet and has white precast concrete columns on the exterior that were sandblasted to expose the aggregate. The interior structure is steel with dark glazing. The last contribution of Welton's success in high-rise modernism is McKesson Plaza. Formerly known as Antenna Life and Casualty Insurance Co., it is located at 1 Post Street at the corner of Market. It is a 38-floor office tower that rises 528 feet above the busy financial district. It was completed in 1970, just shortly after Welton's death. The exterior is constructed of 1-inch thick Norwegian granite mounted on precast concrete panels. The Crocker Gallery is an open-air retail mall located at the building's base, the largest of its kind downtown. Granite and marble highlight the 30-foot-high all-glass entrance lobby. The building rests on the site formerly occupied by the Crocker Building. Despite Beckett's attempt to distance himself from creating a personal signature style of architecture, his buildings are often easily recognizable through their use of unusual facade materials such as ceramic tile, stainless steel grillwork, repetitive geometric patterns, and heavy emphasis on walls clad in natural stone, particularly travertine and flagstone. He was the leader of his time, and his works will live on in a time when mid-century modernism is undergoing a welcome renaissance.